Hi, welcome back to New York. If you watched my Finland vlog, you saw how that went. And now we are entering 3 weeks out this weekend. How it works, maybe 3.5 weeks out. Anyway, I have 2 weekends and then it's meet weekend. So that's how many weeks out we are. And this past week, maybe you can hear it, I got quite sicky. I was able to squeeze in my squat, bench, deadlift sessions at the tail end of this week. Today's Saturday. I did my squat and bench today. Deadlift did not go well. I think we're beefing. Me and Mr. Deadlift are beefing. But squat went really well and bench went, you know, whatever. It went okay. Yeah, I'm excited to see how my squat is gonna go. I really have no expectations for the other 2 lifts, but squat, I'm kind of hoping for personal best. My personal best is 336 pounds in competition, 340 pounds in the gym. So that's kind of where we're. So if I get a squat PR, I will be incredibly happy. My bench and deadlift numbers are nowhere near where they used to be when I actually used to powerlift. If you're new here, by the way, I'm Daniela. I am a bodybuilder, but for fun, I powerlift and run. So I used to powerlift. I stopped powerlifting in 2019 and started bodybuilding instead. My bench and deadlift numbers were way better when I was actually competing. I think my bench was like 185 in competition, and I did bench 200 in the gym once. My deadlift, I think, is like 385 or something, but it's nowhere near that right now. Like, I did a single for RPE 5. If you don't know what that is, it essentially means that it's supposed to be super light enough that you could do 4 more reps after that, or 5 more reps after that. Anyway, I did it at 300 this week, and so this week coming up, I'm doing RPE 6, so that's like a little heavier, a little more exciting. So I thought I would take you guys along for that. Hopefully we can hit some exciting numbers. I have some ideas for all of my RPE 6 numbers. We'll see how it goes. Welcome to the video, and I hope you like lifting heavy stuff videos. I guess I'm putting this back because these bangs are not doing me any favors. It's Wednesday evening. I'm like still super congested, but I feel completely fine. I just sound congested. Anyway, so Wednesday night, so to recap, because I actually did not film anything from Monday and Tuesday. Monday I did a little bit of like a leg pump up day at the gym after work. Well, it was really just glutes. It was my normal glute session, but I decided to kind of, instead of going heavy, I just kind of focused on mind to muscle connection and doing a few more reps because I felt a little bit drained from the weekend's workout. And then yesterday, Tuesday, I did a run. I think it became 4.5 miles. It was probably the best run I've had all year. It was a little, just under 80 degrees, but like not super humid. It was obviously after work, so it was like around maybe 5:30, so it was like sunset vibes, and like everyone was outside walking, picnicking, biking, running. It was so nice, and the cherry blossoms have started to do their thing, so yeah, I really enjoyed it. But anyway, the reason I'm standing here in my bedroom is because I wanted to show you guys a few new items that I've purchased lately. First up is my new favorite workout top. I got one color and then I loved it so much that I got 2 more colors, and I'm sorry about the lighting, it's like not the best in here. These 3 colors, it is like a cream, navy, and brown. So this is from Amazon, and I put it in my storefront. It was actually on sale last week, which is why I got the 2 other ones. I feel like I never see this. Usually I see built-in bra tops with like these types of straps, like normal bra straps, but like it's a top. But this is like a t-shirt, like a cropped t-shirt with built-in bra situation, and it looked so flattering on, and has like this little seam here too. Maybe you can't really see that, but it has this little like seam detail. As I mentioned, it's cropped to like there. My belly button is right here, so Yeah, I just love these so much. It's super comfortable. I felt really secure in it. Obviously I wouldn't like go for a run or anything in this, but like gym, lounge, walking, hiking, whatever, I think would be great with these. I got a set from Paragon, a very, very, very pink set. So I got, apparently I'm in my cropped t-shirt era, but this is a cropped t-shirt. It is incredibly pink and I love it so much. I got a size medium in the t-shirt, and in the leggings I believe I got a size large. I'm usually between medium and large in Paragon leggings. I have a lot of them and they are most definitely my favorite leggings. I usually go for the Sculpt Seam Plus, which just has a little bit more of this booty scrunch. It's not like a seamless, you know, like where you're afraid of it bursting at the seams. I feel very secure in these leggings because of the material. Very stretchy. This is actually a bit of a different model because it has this like double seam in the front. Still no front seam, but like there's some sort of double V situation going on here. But I haven't actually tried these in the gym yet, so I'm excited to do that. I'm trying to wear shorts in the gym as much as possible now leading up to the meet, because on meet day you wear a singlet, which is shorts, and I discovered a few weeks ago when I was deadlifting that my nails get stuck in my leggings if I'm not careful, and that just won't work. So I need to practice with shorts. So tomorrow during deadlifts, I'm doing shorts. Let me just make sure that I've actually shaved my legs. Yeah, they feel pretty good. You just never know. I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday and we're doing deadlifts tomorrow after work. I am a little bit iffy. I have some back pain, spine pain, back joint. Is that whatever. I have pain in my back. So I'm not entirely sure how it's gonna go. So the other day when I went for my run, it was like 80 degrees. Today it is 40 degrees. Anyway, happy Thursday. Today I'm walking Hopper. It is Thursday morning. Got my coffee. And then I'm gonna start my day working from home. And then during lunch, I'm probably gonna head into the office. So that I don't have to bring so many meals with me. After work, I am going to go deadlift. Back at my favorite place. I think last time I vlogged this, there was a bunch of snow here. So nice. Good job. So I'm competing in the minus 84 kilo class, and I'm not like dieting or anything like that. I'm just trying to kind of stay where I am now, which is like around between 182 and 184 is where I'm fluctuating every day. So I feel like I'm cutting it kind of close, but I don't want to diet at this time, so we're just gonna hope for the best. But the plan for now anyway is to compete in minus 184, which is 185 pounds-ish, in case you were wondering why I'm mixing pounds and kilos. So deadlift time after work. So before this I did my rehab exercises, which is just essentially for my hip impingement that have kind of evolved. The rehab exercises have, not the impingement. The impingement is actually a little bit better. Like, I don't feel it super much in my day-to-day existence, and I don't feel it when I squat anymore. I kind of feel it if I were to push out my knees more in this sumo deadlift stance, but I don't have to do that in order to get a successful pull, so I don't do that. So my rehab is going fairly well. I see improvements, and primarily what my rehab is kind of all about is strengthening my adductors and kind of loosening up my hips. So anyway, this is coming up on one of my last warm-up sets. This one here is 265 pounds, and I felt like it felt quite nice. It moved pretty well, and even though I kind of had issues replicating my positioning, because if you've been here before, I've kind of talked about how my second, third, fourth, whatever rep is usually better than my first rep. So that's why I kind of reset in between each rep when it gets heavier, to kind of replicate my second and third reps. But anyway, this is my RPE 6 attempt at 325 pounds, and it felt quite all right, actually. I feel like the RPE pace was spot on, and in terms of like how heavy it looked and also how it felt. So I'm pretty happy, even though, 325 is not where my RP6 would have been 7 years ago when I was powerlifting. But where I am now, I'm really, really happy with the fact that that felt so good. Anyway, then I do 3 sets of back off sets. It is 4 reps at 275. And after deadlift is wrapped up, I just do other glute and hamstring exercises. I did some leg curls, kickbacks, and these here shown are like good mornings in a Smith machine, which I love for my glutes. And then I also did one more glute exercise, like the glute extension or whatever you want to call it, that machine, and then calves. Hello and happy Friday. So excited about the fact that it is Friday. I just got back from the office, stopped by Trader Joe's and got some little things. I have to show you what I found. It did not have like the new sign or whatever, but protein pancakes. How interesting. One package which has 4 little pancakes has 4.5 fat, 25 carbs, and 20 protein. That's pretty good for like a breakfast type thing. And then I was thinking on top of that, I could put like a little bit of this non-fat vanilla flavored yogurt. It's Friday, so I am gonna do upper body today. I don't know if I talked about this, but a few weeks ago, I decided to merge my squat and bench day because I need to learn to bench when I am fatigued from squat, because that's kind of mimicking what you do on meet day. So just temporarily, I moved my bench over to my squat day, which is on Saturday, but I do want to do some upper body bodybuilding style today, so I'm gonna go hit some shoulders and back. On my way to the gym, I will also stop by the library. Currently reading this, been my subway book, like that I read on the subway, but I started reading it full-time yesterday after I finished Dear Debbie by Frida McFadden, and I was quite disappointed. She's usually like such a queen when it comes to like plot twists and like shocking the reader and things like that, and this one was like very mediocre. Anyway, all that to say, I'm gonna go to the library and pick up my Hold, which I'm very excited about. It is the Finley Donovan newest book. I was this close to purchasing it for like 30 bucks from Amazon, but I didn't have to do that because the library in New York City is pretty great. So that's my Friday plan. I have changed for the gym. I'm wearing this pink white Moment outfit. My top is actually a running top. It has like little pockets back here for gels, but I thought it's cute and like springy because it has like these little flowers on it. Back from my upper body session. I'm gonna throw together a little post-workout salad. I am air frying some turkey bacon. I'm gonna have my American blend lettuce, and I'm gonna have some avocado, ground turkey, and turkey bacon. A very turkey-full salad. Anyway, I am slowly getting used to heavier weights, lifting heavier weights. This training if you will. As a bodybuilder, I did not, you know, lift heavy 1 rep maxes or like 1 rep weights, not even like triples. I think like the heaviest like reps I did was like 6s or something like that. So like this is definitely new mindset territory for me. I haven't been in this mindset territory for 7 years since I last competed in powerlifting, so it's definitely scary, a little bit scary to lift heavy. I think my mind quits before my body does, and I felt the same way when I ran the marathon, is that like my mind was weaker than my body. For some people it's the other way around, but for me I feel like that is the case, that my body is much stronger than I think it is. When I ran the marathon, I just had to train my mind to run longer distances and like show my mind that I can do it. And the same kind of goes for powerlifting and lifting heavy singles. I'm doing RPE 6s this week, which is not like super heavy, you know, like it's not like a true max out situation. It might be like first attempt territory, but it still is heavier than I'm used to, and it's something I need to, you know, psych myself up for in my mind. Hi Waffles. Waffles loves to hang out with you guys, so anyway, that being said, tomorrow I have squat, and I think this cycle I've been most excited about squat, but I also put the most pressure on squat because it's been going well, knock on wood. Kidding. So all that to say is that I am nervous about tomorrow. Don't know what number I have in mind. Last week I did RPE 5 and I did 320. This week I'm doing RPE 6, maybe 330. 3:35. We'll see how tomorrow goes. I am obviously going quite early tomorrow, so maybe that's a factor I need to consider too, because I feel pretty stiff and like not awake most mornings these days. So it's all a learning curve. But if I can squat 3:30 on a stiff Saturday morning, hopefully I would be able to do it on a hyped up meet day Saturday afternoon. Anyway, I'm gonna eat my post-workout salad, maybe treat myself to some nice rice cakes for dessert, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at the gym. Good morning, happy Saturday, and I had the luxury of having the pit, which is what they call the powerlifting room in this gym, all to myself this morning, almost the entire time, which was just lovely. It was just a really nice way to start your weekend morning. It was maybe around 8:30 a.m. here. So yeah, I just had some breakfast, rolled out of bed, had breakfast, got ready, and headed to the gym. So anyway, here is my warm-ups. I usually start with some banded things, and then I go into my rehab, which I more or less had to improvise on this bench. It's supposed to be another type of bench, but anyway, first some like glute mobility things where you kind of pulse into the movement instead of like static stretching. So this is like a curtsy lunge stretch. And then I also do some like step backs off of a high bench or box or whatever you have available, and try to like dip your toe and go back up, but it's harder than it for me seems. Anyway, but those, and then last but certainly not least is Copenhagen's, which I do a few variations of. Sometimes I do like dipping variations, and sometimes I just do like these types of holds, but these are like really good for adductor training. So these have really helped my hip impingement. Hard word to say. Anyway, and then we are ready to start squatting. I'm actually wearing this like grippy t-shirt. You see like the shiny things on my back is like for grip. So I thought I would try that for both the barbell, but also later on for my bench. I don't feel like it helped much for the bench gripness, but definitely for the barbell. So highly recommend if you dislike slippery t-shirts when you're squatting. Anyway, I felt really shit this session, like very terrible. From the moment I woke up, I felt like sluggish, fatigued, my back was hurting, I felt like very dehydrated, and it was so hot. At least for me, I was very warm, so it was just like not a great feeling. And like I remember these usually feel like they're flying, but that like 265 just felt really heavy. Today it doesn't look like it feels heavy, but it felt really awful. So not a great confidence booster heading into my heavy single, but I put on some Nas music, and I love to end my warm-ups with 315, which is this, so like 2 reds and a green. And usually I do like my last single at this weight, but the first rep felt so shit that I was like, I'm gonna make this a double, and I'm gonna make the next rep feel better than the first rep. And I feel like it felt better and looked a little bit speedier. So I was ready to just kind of carpe that DM, and I put on 335 pounds, which is around 151 kilos. This is around the weight that I did my triple at RP8 a few weeks ago. Although that was in kilos, so it was like 151.5 or 152.5, something like that. Anyway, similar weight, and I really wanted this to be my RP6 because that was what was going to be matching up to that RP8 triple. I hope you're following the train of thought here. Anyway, I was very, very nervous, as you can see, and I was just like, you know what, you just have to do it. You just have to get on the bar and just do it. And I remember on the descent, I was thinking like, shit, this is not gonna go well. And what do you know? It went really well. I am so happy with how that felt. I was relieved, I was proud that like on a day where I feel like ass, I can, like still handle that kind of weight. So it was really encouraging and just nice to feel that. Anyway, for my backups, I did 285, I think, and it's 3 sets of 4 reps, and they all felt pretty hard. But I got them done, and that's all that matters. After my squat session, I move over to bench, and after bench, I do leg accessories. So the bench is just like really a bonus upper body thing, but like more specific to powerlifting, not really for bodybuilding. So I just tossed that in on my squat day, as I mentioned, to mimic the fatigue that you feel on meet day. So these are just some warm-ups, and I felt like my warm-ups went really well. I didn't film all of them. I had a couple more sets in between this and my RP6 attempted single. But all my warm-ups felt so good that I was like, let's just go. Let's do 155 pounds, which is like 70 kilos. And there is a misgroove that happens in the middle of this, like when I press. So I don't really know actually if this was an overshot RP6, but I'm pretty sure it was. Like, yeah, it could have looked really light, but because of that weird thing that happened, I'm not really sure what it was. But anyway, moved on to my back off sets, which is again 3 sets of 4 reps, and this is 130 pounds. They all felt pretty solid. At the end though, I was pretty tired, but that's all in a good day's work, I guess. After this, as I mentioned, I did some leg exercises. So I did quad extensions, some leg press, some glute kickbacks, and some calves. So it was a really, really nice, productive morning. And I'm really happy that it went the way it went. I felt, as I mentioned, I felt so relieved and just like really just proud, I love when you have lifting sessions where you can actually feel productive and like proud of yourself and like that you moved forward in something. I think that's what appeals to me most with powerlifting, is that like every session kind of has the opportunity to feel like that. Anyway, after this, we had a full day of fun things planned for RD's early birthday celebration. So we went to the Central Park Zoo, walked around, had some bagels, and just explored the lovely New York City spring vibes that we're having right now, just like this guy. Okay, see you next time. Bye.